All right, here we want to solve. We have radical x plus 3 plus radical x plus 8 equals 5. Now we see here that there's two radicals in this equation, which means that at some point we're going to have to square both sides twice or 2 times. Okay, now first thing we want to do is we want to isolate one of these radicals. Okay, there's no way around it. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which one we pick. So let's just subtract this radical over to the other side. Okay, so we get radical x plus 3 equals 5 minus radical x plus 8. Now we see, no, don't get me wrong, right? This radical is not isolated, okay? But this one is. Okay, so let's go ahead, we'll square this side here, and we'll also square this side. Okay, so on the left side here, the radical x plus 3 squared, right, that just equals x plus 3, so that's good, right? We've gotten rid of that radical. Now, like I said, once we square this side, we're still going to end up with a radical. Okay, so we're going to have to, isolate the radical again and then square both sides again. Okay, let's go ahead and follow this out. Now, in this case, I'll write it out. So we get 5 minus radical x plus 8 times another 5 minus radical x plus 8. Okay, make sure you FOIL this out properly. So when we do FOIL, we get 5 times 5, which is 25. We have 5 times radical x plus 8, which is minus 5 rad x plus 8. We know that the inner term should be the same, so minus another 5 radical x plus 8. And when we multiply radical x plus 8 times radical x plus 8, that just equals an x plus 8. Okay? So when we combine all these like terms, right, we get 25 plus 8, which is 33, then plus x minus 10 radical x plus 8. Okay, so this is what we're going to get on the other side of this equal sign here. So we see once again that there's still a radical, right? But now there's only one. Okay, so that's good. So we're going to isolate this radical again. Okay, now in this case, we notice that the x's do cancels out, which is good. So we'll subtract the x's. Those do cancel out. Okay. And I'll subtract the 33 to both sides. Okay, so that cancels out to 33 here. I get negative 30 equals negative 10 times radical x plus 8. Now here, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 10, which ends up becoming pretty good, right? Because these negatives cancel out, right? So that becomes 3, which equals radical x plus 8. So I've properly isolated the radical, which means I can square both sides here, right? I'll square that side, I'll square the right side. 3 squared is 9. Radical x plus 8 squared is just x plus 8. So when I subtract 8 to both sides, I get my x value here, right? What does x equal in this case? Right, x is going to equal 1. Now, this is not our solution yet, right? It's our proposed solution, so we do have to check it into the original problem. What happens when we plug it in? Well, 1 plus 3 is 4, right? Radical 4 is 2, and then 1 plus 8 is 9, excuse me, and radical 9 is 3, so yeah, 2 plus 3 does equal 5, so this checks out, right? That's a good answer. So remember, when we have two radicals in the equation, isolate one of them, square both sides. You're still going to end up with a radical, so isolate it again, square both sides again, and then you should be able to solve and get your answer.